Hello everyone, welcome to Blue Dragon Actual. So I'm recording this video after a 1 week gap. I just wanted to give that gap for that fresher video that I like what fresher lack in actually part 2, so that everyone can take the time to kind of see the video without being disturbed or bombarded with other videos. So I gave that video 1 week time, and I think that's good enough. So now we'll continue our normal knowledge series, and yeah, obviously the counseling series that I like this kind of videos like what facial lack and the power of an actuary. This kind of video will follow and from time to time. But however, the main objective of my channel was to kind of build the conceptual clarity so that the people have a different process of thinking, and we don't get only paper actuaries. So that's why. um I mean, that's how I'm going to proceed. So this today's topic is related to a question that I actually asked in an interview. There was a person whom I was kind of interviewing. That person was from the asset modeling team of a BPO, and that person also trade in stock market. So I asked that person like, can derivatives move the price of an underlying? Because entire interview was kind of focused on that asset as ALSM and duration, convexity, etc., etc. So he told me that derivative can move the price of the of the underlying, and I asked him how, but that how was not clear to him. And I, in fact, actually told him that the Black-Scholes formula, which we'll see. So this is the Black-Scholes formula, right? See, and even frankly, I also don't remember this formula, like how it works. I have to I nobody needs to remember this formula. It is available in Google. But we can see that here the in Black-Scholes formula there is a line, or there is a the formula contains ST, and ST means the price of the underlying, which is the stock price, in this case spot price of an asset, right? So ST is price of an asset, and you are saying that this moves the price of this, right? The derivative price moves the price of the spot, and that is impossible, right? Because if that is true, then there would be a circularity. C would move ST, and ST would also move C. So there is no dependent or independent variable concept here. Both would be moving each other, and then there is a circularity. And so that's why that's wrong. And the problem is I think lies in YouTube videos. There are several kind of trading channels who do not understand the actual concept. As I mentioned, clarity of concept is severely lacking in today's world somehow. And that's why there is a reason. People know that this will move, but they don't know the reason why it will move. They never questioned why it will move. So there is C and there is ST. So C, obviously ST cannot move C, right? Sorry, ST can move C, but C cannot move ST. Otherwise, there is a circularity, right? And that's where this post is all about. So when I kind of gave that example to that person gave me another example, which is the question that I've asked here. So I want to see if the price of derivative, which is future, option, etc., can change the price of the underlying. In by this case, we mean spot underlying. But what that person gave me the example when I kind of explained the Black-Scholes formula to that person. So that person told me, see, you have heard about curd, right? Curd is made out of milk. So curd is a derivative of milk, and if the demand for curd increases, then the demand for milk also increases, right? So you can say that when the demand for derivative increases, when the demand for a derivative of a stock increases, then the demand for that stock will also increase, and that would also cause an increase in the uh, price of the derivative. So in that way, it is kind of related. It's formula is, so what he's saying, that the price of derivative is kind of influenced by demand and supply, right? Other than the spot price. So in this video, we are going to explore whether all of these things are true. What are the clarity that is required here, and how you can tackle this sort of question, and how you can question something like this to better understand, or to kind of better improve your clarity, right? So first of all, the point number one: can derivative move the price of the underlying, or can derivative move the price of the spot? And also one more thing that I forgot to mention was this question is kind of answered very well by Ashnut once again. So I mean, this is the second time that Ashnut has answered something. Last time it was a poll related to trolling, and he has beautifully presented his thoughts. And this is also the second time. And yeah, I'm kind of like, I appreciate Ashnut for doing this. So he mentioned that theoretically derivative draws this price from the underlying asset, which is the Black-Scholes formula that we have seen. So it should not, right? That's exactly the logic that I've mentioned, that if it kind of influence the price, then there'll be a circularity. So it should not, right? Practically, due to say demand and supply issue, it could, right? This is once again going back to the same example, that curd. So if it is curd, then because if the demand for curd increases, then the demand for milk increases, and hence the price of the milk would increase. So that is going from going from a pricing formula to demand and supply, like kind of going to the fundamentals. So the, I mean, a different way to price the product. Both are kind of slightly different. So for example, if there is an extensive demand for a future of a company, and if the price of that future increases, this should result in price of the underlying asset also to increase, as to ensure arbitrage, right? So this arbitrage point is very important. What he's saying, that it can happen that the price of the future, suddenly the future price increases, right? And because of that, and future price obviously will depend on demand and supply, unlike option. Option is, and what we have seen was the auction formula, but future, the price would be determined by demand and supply. And because of that, there will be an arbitrage, and the underlying spot also have to increase, because ultimately at the expiry of the future and spot price will be same, right? So at a very simple level, price of milk should increase due to increase of the demand in curd, keeping all the factors constant. But the two situations are not exactly equivalent. Milk is an input for the preparation of curd, while the same cannot be same for a derivative and this underlying. Okay. So I think this is a very proper answer. However, I will just try to break the answer so that it is much easier for all of us to kind of understand. So first of all, derivative cannot move the price of spot. The spot price can be moved in case of a financial derivative, when I'm talking about option, or when I'm talking about future, that cannot move the price of the spot. Now, obviously, I'll come to the portion how arbitrage can move, but on its own, derivative cannot move the price of the spot. Let's take the example of Nifty. This is Nifty spot 17,619, and this is Nifty future. So Nifty, by for those who don't know, Nifty is the collective. Nifty is an index of 50 stocks that trades on National Stock Exchange. So 50 stocks, Reliance, the Adani, etc., etc. There are 550 stocks that are combined to kind of create Nifty. You can Google about that, obviously, and I think this is a kind of assumed knowledge. Most of us probably know what Nifty is, Nifty 50. So this is the Nifty spot price. This is the Nifty future price, right? So Nifty, here you see that Nifty future is trading at a discount. So Nifty future is trading at 17,588. And this snapshot is taken at 9:12 on 26th of August. So Nifty spot is at 17,619, and Nifty, Nifty future is at 17,588. So here you see there is a difference of approximately 30 points, right? But what I have seen is usually Nifty spot and future trade with a gap of 15 to 20 points. So here there is a 10-point difference that is existing, and that can give you an arbitrage opportunity. So what, and you can say 10 points is nothing, right? But 10 points is nothing when you are considering a small volume. But if you are considering a large volume, say you have 1 crore lot of Nifty, then 1 crore into 10 would be huge, right? So 10 point, even 1 paisa is of arbitrage is a huge opportunity. So what happens is there are softwares available in the market which is consistently looking for this sort of arbitrage opportunity. So because based on your experience, that the difference between Nifty and Nifty future usually lies in the range of 20 rupees. Now here you are seeing that, and also probably that Nifty future always usually trades at a premium to Nifty. So it means that in the future the price would go up. That's how Indian market has been, right? It has always gone up usually, and that's why we'll say that uh, इंसान हो या stock market जाना तो ऊपर ही है. So that's how Indian market has behaved. So Nifty future always trade at a premium, but here you see that Nifty future is trading at a discount. And also, even if we consider that Nifty future is trading at a discount, this trading at a discount with an arbitrage of 10 points, right? So there will be softwares who will be kind of buying the Nifty future and shorting Nifty. And you cannot directly short Nifty, obviously. So what you will do, you will short the you will short the stocks that are present in Nifty, that like the 50 stocks. So humanly it is kind of impossible to do that, but a software can easily do that. You can sell the stock in same proportion as that is kind of captured in Nifty, and it's very easy to do that, and so that you covered kind of this, because as per this logic, because of this portion, Nifty is kind of trading at a higher price than it should be, and Nifty future is trading at a lower price than it should be. So Nifty future would come up, and Nifty spot or Nifty, the stocks would come down. So both side will give you profit. And in fact, because you are shorting one thing and you are buying the exact opposite thing, you don't need to pay any margin, or very, very, very minimal margin, right? So what happens here is, because of this arbitrage opportunity, the softwares kind of track this arbitrage opportunity, right? And because of that, the price of the Nifty comes down. So it is not that the derivative is taking the price of the Nifty down, right? Because derivative cannot. It is when you are spotting this arbitrage opportunity, you are trading on that arbitrage opportunity. So what is happening is you are shorting the future that is present, or shorting the shares that is present in Nifty. And because of that movement because you are shorting, and because you are probably shorting in huge volume, so those shares, the price of those shares will come down, right? And because of that, so the movement happens only in cash market, right? So movement is not happening in derivative market. The movement is happening in cash market. You are shorting the Nifty future, and because of that, that will come down. Similarly, when you are buying the Nifty future, and because Nifty future is kind of influenced by the volume, right, and the price, the demand and supply, Nifty future trades just like any other share. It's just it is like a future, and because of that, it will go up, because you are kind of buying the purchase, by buying the Nifty. And that's why there would be a midpoint where it will both of this will meet, or somewhere it will come close, and then once again, and you just need that, that maybe 10 seconds or 15 seconds where they are moving in the same direction. So Nifty future is going up, and maybe Nifty is coming down, and that would kind of serve your purpose. So I think the concept is clear, how arbitrage works. And if it is not clear, please write in the comment section of YouTube only. And just because I have shown the screenshot of LinkedIn today, please do not go and message me in LinkedIn regarding my YouTube video. Keep the affairs of YouTube limited to YouTube only. So yeah, coming back to the topic. So how Nifty is moving? Nifty is moving because of the movement in the cash market, and because of the movement in the components of Nifty. However, that movement is arising because you have spotted a arbitrage opportunity between Nifty futures, or maybe it might also be Nifty derivatives like Nifty option, etc., etc. And because of that arbitrage opportunity, because there are algorithms, or because there are softwares which are kind of always kind of picking that opportunity, that this thing will happen, right? And there are multiple ways you can probably increase the price of an option. As for example, if you see here, uh, say in this case, this is option, right? So if you see here, this is sigma. This sigma is implied, this is implied volatility. I already have a video on implied volatility and historical volatility. What is the difference between historical volatility and implied volatility? Historical volatility means the historical price, implied volatility means the future price, right? Future price is kind of calculated from the option price and future price, etc. That's because those prices are for a future date, right? So that means the market will go to that price. That is your speculation about that. So that's how you can calculate the implied volatility. Please search for that video in my channel and see that video if you are not cleared about implied volatility. So this is implied volatility. This is future volatility, and you can you see here that D2 in this case ND2 here it comes as ND2. So ND2 is a negative sign before that. So when it comes within that, it would be minus of say n of D1 minus sigma t. So overall the sigma, if there is a more volatility, that would, because of this minus sign, that would kind of try to increase the price of the option, right? So you can artificially inflate the price of an option by creating higher volatility. Now how will you create higher volatility? By taking position lot higher up. Like right now, if you see Nifty is trading at 17,663, right? So you need to increase the volatility. Suppose you punch a very heavy order at and that order will not be executed because there would be no seller, right? But suppose you punch a very heavy order, say at 18,000, right? And Nifty is way far from 18,000, but you wanted to purchase maybe 1 crore lot of Nifty at 18,000, and you purchase and you put a very heavy order at the bottom, maybe at 15,000, and Nifty is way far from 15,000. No one will execute that order, but because of that high number of order, there would be higher incidence of higher incidence of lot size at that point of time, and that will increase the volatility at that strike price. Basically there will be higher incidence of order at that strike price, and that will increase the volatility. So it will show to the market that there would be higher opportunity for Nifty to, so it will show that Nifty will stay between 15,000 to 18,000. Maybe before you have punched this order, the range of Nifty would be maybe say 16,000, 17,000, or 15,500 to 15,800 to maybe say 17,900. But after you have punched that order, the range has increased, right? So the range has say become from 15,000 to 18,000, and because of that, because of the higher range, Nifty can go anywhere, right? So that means the volatility increases. So that way you can artificially inflate the price of the option, and there are, and you can obviously create high frequency order. You can use algorithm to punch those orders, and once those order get executed, those orders will never get executed, and once those orders in the system, the implied volatility would increase, and in this case you can artificially inflate the option, and that is something you will see a huge spike in the option price, and then it will immediately fall down because then the order would be kind of removed from the system, right? So so that is something in trading we call that free trade. That is because the underlying has not moved, but the option price, the option price of the derivative price has moved because of the manipulating with the volatility. That is called freak trade, right? So but that might be more important, although I've kind of completely explained that topic, but that is probably a topic that is related more to trading and not to actuary. So what we have seen, and coming back to the main topic, so there is an arbitrage opportunity that is existing. Because of that arbitrage opportunity, we are shorting the cash market or we are buying the cash market, and because of the movement in the cash market, the underlying would move, right? That is not because of the movement in the derivative. It is because of the movement in the cash market. Only cash market or only the spot market, only the components of Nifty, or if we consider a share, maybe say Axis Bank, only the Axis Bank purchase of share or shorting of the share can move Axis Bank, right? Axis Bank derivative cannot move Axis Bank on its own, right? But because of arbitrage opportunity and because of those softwares available, you will short the cash market or you will buy the cash market, and that's how it will happen, right? So I think that portion is right now, that portion is clear. The next portion is related to the example that person gave me, curd, right? If the demand for curd increases, then the demand for milk would also increase. That's an absolutely true statement, right? So where is the disconnect? The disconnect lies in the fact that curd is not made out of milk entirely. Like in case of Nifty, the derivative or the future is made entirely out of uh, uh, Nifty, right? There is no other component there. But for making curd, you have to use lemon. You might have to use sugar, etc., right? So that is not actually a derivative. That is maybe a side product or a byproduct of milk, but that is not a derivative. So the question that I've asked here, the two situations, what Ashnad has kind of replied, the two situations aren't equivalent exactly. Milk is an input, right? So in this case, milk is an input, right? And that's why the curd is not a derivative, but curd is a byproduct, right? So and this that is the same question that I've asked here. Uh, also are the two situations given above equivalent. So these two situations are not equivalent, right? So you are not comparing apple to apple. You are comparing apple with orange. You have not understood the concept of derivative, and that's why you are giving that answer. So had it been only a milk product, just a milk product, right? There is no extra thing, that is no preservative, no sugar, nothing being added to it, which is impossible. That's why the concept of financial derivative exists, because otherwise any other derivative that you mentally think of is not actually derivative. Is created as a byproduct, is created as a combination of other product, right? So that's why these two concepts are not equivalent. And there you cannot apply that demand and supply thing to say that, okay, because the price of the curd increases, there more supply required for the milk, and that's why the price of the milk would increase. That's a wrong analogy that you have put forward. So I think now the question is, I was trying to kind of keep this video short, but I think that this video is slightly longer, but I think this would also help to clear a lot of doubts. And those who are kind of trading in the market, I think they have heard about the term called short covering. And I think in the entire, I have seen zero YouTuber give correct information about short covering. And I think from this video, you can understand that price of derivative, when you short a call option, when you short a future, that cannot move the price of the Nifty. It is only when, because of spotting of that arbitrage opportunity, you short the cash market, or you buy on the cash market. It is only then, because of the movement in the cash market, the Nifty moves, right? And that's why people have messed up the concept of short covering. And one YouTuber has given wrong information, other YouTubers have followed, and they are kind of, that's what happens when you lack clarity in concept, right? So I think this is clear, and probably this is helpful. So yeah, I'll thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe for this kind of knowledgeable content. And for last couple of days, I've been receiving a lot of love. So I thank everyone with folded hands. And yeah, keep sharing the love. Please like the video. Please leave any feedback. If you have not understood anything, please put it in the comment section of YouTube, and please share with your friends. Thanks for watching, and see you in future videos.